This video is brought to you by Squarespace, where you can build websites, online stores, blogs, and company portfolios. Guys, so some people say that this is the RC car that knocks the Traxxas X-Max off of its top spot of being the world's best RC car. So I bought one and tested it and broke it, and while it is very good, it doesn't quite compete with the X-Max in stock form. So, we had to modify it. First of all, the motor and the speed controller was a little bit underpowered for this rig, so I fitted this great big Hobbywing motor. Look at the size of it. It's almost the same size as a soda can. So now it's got loads of power and it's stupidly fast. Next problem, the chassis kept bending really easily. So we fitted an M2C 7075 chassis and custom RC upgrade chassis braces. Also, we've got M2C motor mounts, M2C suspension blocks, M2C steering rack, and it still brakes too easily. The suspension arms, especially the back ones, they break really easily. Oh! You guys have got to make some better arms. These suck. Come on RPM, make something for this. So, we've got some RPM ones. So these are made out of a much more flexible material, so when you crash, they're more likely to flex and not break. The shocks, they bend really easily. This shaft here is way too thin for the size of the shocks and the weight of the car, so when you land big jumps, the shocks bend. So M2C have come out with these. Some massive 7mm diameter shock shafts. So we're going to fit those. The drive shafts, they bend relatively easily. Not really a massive deal because you can straighten them out. But M2C make stronger ones. We're going to chuck them on there too. So we're going to put all this lot on and then we're going to take it out for a rip and give it absolute hell and see if it's actually finally going to be better than the X-Max. Squarespace allows you to build your very own websites, online stores, blogs, company portfolios, and much, much more. You don't need any experience, so no HTML, no coding, none of that stuff, just simple drag and drop. So here's a little website that I've built recently, and bear in mind, I'm a novice. So starting out, you'll have a few templates to choose from, and then all these sections here are easily edited. So you click on there, everything is super easy to adjust. You can add and remove photos. So if I want to add more, all I've got to do is grab it from here, drag it into there, and it's automatically going to upload it. Boom! Look how easy that was. So head over to squarespace.com to start your free trial and see how easy it is to build your very own website. And then, when you're ready to launch, just head over to squarespace.com/Kevin Talbot and you'll save 10% off of your first purchase of a website or a domain. Right, that's enough waffle. Let's get wrenching and then we'll take it out for a rip. So these front bumpers, they actually help hold on the front of the bulkhead. When these bumpers crack and it comes off, it can rip the whole bulkhead off the front as well. But luckily on this bumper, the crack is in front of this mount here, so I think it's going to be alright. If the crack was on this side, I'll definitely change it. So here we've got the stock shaft, here we've got the M2C shaft. At a first glance, they look almost exactly the same, but these are the same thickness all the way through. The M2C one is the same thickness on the ends, but then it widens out in the middle. So stock 5.5mm on the end, and M2C also 5.5mm, but then we come into the centre, and the M2C is nearly 7mm, whereas the stock is still 5.5. So it makes the M2C ones a lot more expensive to make, but hopefully a lot stronger. And later on in this video, we're going to find out. There's always a lot of controversy on whether you're supposed to oil these or not. I tend to leave them dry, because when you oil them, you get all sand and dirt sticking to the oil, and it turns it into a grinding paste. So next, we've got to get the other side on. We've also got to put the back ones on. Not going to bother filming it because it's going to be almost the same. Then we're going to get you back on, and then we're going to rebuild the shocks with these new shock shafts. And then we're going to take it out and give it hell! Yes! Guys, I've just found a modification. So these pillow balls here, they come loose all the time. Look at that, it's hand tight. So I've accidentally come out with a solution. That in there, a tool from M2C. And then, instead of putting it in straight, you put it in at the wonk. Oh, yeah, see, look how cross-threaded that is. Fully cross-threaded. Now, look, watch. That's really tight now. That is not going to come loose.
Put all your comments below.
Boom! So we got all 4 corners on there now. There's the rear arms on there. Front's all done. And next we got to do the shocks. I've already done 3 of them so that I know what I'm doing. And check out the size of that shaft in there, look. On these stock ones, the shaft bends and this bottom bit breaks off. Now, hopefully, it won't. So first of all, in the kit, it comes with rubber O-ring. You've got to put that on there. Then an O-ring in there. Then a spacer. Another O-ring. Cover. 3 screws. It's best to leave these a little bit loose for now because it makes it easier to get the shaft in. So next we get the rod in. So a little bit of blue Loctite. I've got a little bit of O-ring grease here, but you could use shock oil. Slide him in. Then you can do up these screws on top of here. Next we get the normal shock. Get the oil out of it. We'll get a wrench in there. Undo that screw on top of the piston. Wind him off. Get the piston out. Now get the piston back on the shaft. We want to make sure that the washer goes on the shaft side. Nuttage. And nip him up. And shove it all back into the body. Put the oil back in. If you're a professional, you can use new oil. I don't care, so I'm putting the old back in. Then we've got to move it up and down a little bit to get the air bubbles out. If you're a professional, you probably let it stand for a few hours. And this is the way that I did it. Piston all the way up. So 40 weight shock hole or whatever you got kicking around. And just fill it up to the top. Get this nipple thing back on. Cap back on. Next, we've got to drill out this bottom seat cup. And the kit does come with a drill bit and a little spacer jig. Little jig, a liner thing in the jig. So you shove that in the hole like that. And carefully drill it out. Spring back on. Seat back on. There we go. One heavy duty, hopefully indestructible shock. Boom, and there we go, ready to rip. Stock ones, they leak, and hopefully these M2C upgraded ones, they won't. By the way, if you want to know where we can get all these upgrades from, and we can get the car from, and all the techno babble, there's going to be a link to all of that down below. Right, that's enough waffle, let's go rip. We're going to do a couple of laps on there, and then we're going to hit the skate park. Hopefully, it's going to hold up. Get the old 360 cam fired up. Anyway,
you got some footage out of it.
Here's a few clips of an X-Max, and then we're gonna have a race. Claire's impressed. He's got that nailed, hasn't he? What? What? How? How? I bet you can't do that again. What? Do you know what? He's probably the best driver here. Are you lot all racing? Yeah. Everyone racing? All right, ready, steady, go! Go, 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 go! Oh, look at that, we're in second! Oh, we're in first, we're in first! Oh, yes! We got the lead, 1 more lap to go. All we got to do is try and not crash. We might have it. We win. Oh. Bing, there we go. Who's the daddy? Uh-oh. All the oils come out of that shock. No idea why. We'll investigate a little bit later. That's what we're supposed to do, like that. It's all leaking out of that bleed screw. So now we are here for the durability test. And that's making a noise. Oh, did it? Guys, I think the ESC's died. Doesn't work anymore. Brand new, only used it probably a couple times. Back to the shop, new ESC going in, and then we're going to go to the moon. So no idea what's going on, but when I plug it in, this LED flashes 4 times and nothing happens. But Hardcore put me onto this video here, so hopefully if we do this, it might work again. Otherwise, we've got to buy a new ESC. Apparently, you turn it on while you're holding down the set button. Then once it starts flashing green on this light here, you pull out one of these. Turn it off, plug it back in, do your endpoints, and still nothing. No, still doesn't work, but we have new ones. So we're going to chuck it on, then we're going to fix a leaking shock, and then we'll take it out for a durability test today in this video. So now let's get the old speed controller out and the new one in. Boom! So next, let's get this shock absorber off, take it apart and see why it's leaking oil. Guys, there's no oil left in here at all. And I think the problem is in the bladder. It's all leaking out of there, look. Let's open it up and have a little look to see what's going on. I'm guessing I'll probably put the bladder on like a bit wonkily. Bladder, diaphragm, whatever you call it, I don't know. So let's top him up and then see what happens. So thingamajig back in. Get the lid back on. Got to be super careful not to move that diaphragm. It appears to not be leaking now, so hopefully now it's going to be all right. Boom! We are back in action. So now let's take it out and give it a durability test. Yes! We are back on location. Hopefully now it's going to last. To the moon, GoPro on for some elevation. We're going to take a run up all the way from over there, flat out, hit this, straight to the moon. Hopefully it's going to survive. Here we go, flat out. We landed. I think the motor wires must have come off. It doesn't want to move. Hey, here we got the GoPro. Cheers, dude. No idea what happened in here. Oh, that's it. That came off. There we are, back in action. Oh, tumble-wumble. To the moon, number 2. Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh my God, that was the worst landing ever. That's got to be dead, isn't it? That's just got to be.
That's the tank.
Oh, just pulled it out. Oh, we bent the drive shaft. Ah, we got to have to figure out something with that. I think when we're landing hard, it's going bang and bending it. We have to rethink that. So shock shafts, perfect. Perfect. Oh yeah, look, I broke that there. Could bend the motor mount as well slightly. More damage. So, is it better than the mighty X-Max? In my opinion, no. X-Max is still king, but at the end of the day, it's just my opinion. Whichever RC car is better is whichever one puts a bigger smile on your face. But with a few upgrades, it is one of my favourite RC cars. These M2C shock shafts and M2C chassis and these chassis braces here from Custom RC Upgrades. I would say all these upgrades are absolutely essential if you're planning to bash the Outcast 8S. And if you want to know where you can get the car from and all the upgrades, there's going to be links to all of that down below. And oh look, we got some new toys and also the monster truck. We've got another video coming up with this in a little while. We're mounting the seat, we've got to mount the steering, the pedals. I'm gonna have to send these tyres away to get modified. We're gonna get this ring cut out and get it moved over here so that we've got a bit more space to mount it on. And also having a beadlock ring welded onto here, because when you land big jumps, this rim can actually come all the way down to the ground and flatten it. So we weld a ring in there, it's gonna stiffen it up. So we're gonna take one of the hubs off, send it off to the same company, it's gonna modify my wheels, and then hopefully it's gonna fit.